What's up, guys? I'm going to go over my updated settings for Modern Warfare 2. I use this as competitively. I don't play Warzone on these settings. This is just strictly competitively, multiplayer, CDL mosh pit, just scrims, private matches. This is what I use. So display, always make sure it's an exclusive. Don't run borderless. You lose frames from this. So I recommend that you use exclusive on that. Make sure you're on the correct monitor with your GPU. So at the PC I use, I only have a 2060 Super. So just make sure that you have that your GPU selected. This is huge. Make sure your refresh rate is at the max, what your monitor can produce. Obviously, I play in 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio. I have it on automatic. VSync, I have that off for gameplay and menus. For a custom frame rate, this is what I use. Usually I keep it around what my monitor can do, because you're not going to get more, like, even though you might get more frames than what your monitor can produce, you're only going to hit your monitor's target. So you have a 120 hertz monitor, but getting 180 frames, you're only really getting 120, just because that's how much your monitor can produce. So just be aware of that. For those that are getting more than 120 and you have a 120 monitor, maybe consider upgrading in the future. Yeah, this is what I use. My menus, I really don't really have it much, just 90, just because you don't really need that many frames in the menu, just in my own opinion. That's that. I have it at 2.2. Brightness, I run at 50. This game's bright. You do not want it over 50. 55 maybe. HDR, I have that off. For quality, I got customs. I play on DLSS on balance with 95. You can do that. Performance. Sometimes I go in between balance and performance. Just depends how I'm feeling in the day, whatnot. I usually mess with it a lot. Video memory scale, I keep it between 80 to 90. Sometimes this jumps up to 90 without you really worrying about it. So I just keep it at 80, honestly. Keep this at very low. You can do low, very low. I keep it at very low just because it doesn't use, it takes away from how much RAM is being used. Keep texture filter low, level detail low, and then high. Short, low, very low. Bullet impact and sprays, I'm going to keep that on. I don't know why it was off. Just because, say you're wallbanging in a spot and you don't know where you're wallbanging, but you're hitting somebody, like, you want that on. What is this? I don't know what this is. But I'm going to turn that off. Shutter quality low, tessellation off. Terrain. Okay. I don't know what that was either. Back to my graphics. Terrain memory, don't know what that is. On demand, texture treatment, keep that off. Streaming quality low, low, low. Auto caustics, I have that off. Keep this at low, off, low, 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 off, off, low, low. Keep this on. You can have it on or on plus boost. Depth of field, it's up to you. I usually leave it off. There's some blur that's in effect. Maybe I'm going to turn it on. No, actually, no. Because you want this off, as I'm looking at it. You want this off just so you don't have that blur effect. Obviously, weapon motion blur, you want that off because your screen's just going to look so ugly. Same thing. Well, that's world. Weapon, same as well. Film grain, I have at 0. Personally, this is what looks best to me. When you have it at 1, it just looks a little bit too filmy for me. So I keep it at 0. And just a reminder, these are all what is for me on how I get the most FPS done. You can run it whatever you want. Some of you may have better GPUs and CPUs than what I currently run on, so you can change a little bit of your quality settings. But this is what I run. I run a 105 FOV. I like to keep it a little bit around like the competitive, how they have it at 100, I believe, or 103 is max. I like to keep it at 105 just because this is where I feel the greatest on. It's not 120, so you're not going to see everything. But personally, I like this. It's just my personal preference. You can run 120 though. Have this on affected. I like it on narrow. Wide used to be it, and then for some reason, I don't know, I switched to narrow, and honestly, I prefer it way more. Keep that at 80 default. This one, your camera movement, you want it on least. You should not want it on default. Make sure you change this, just because it's like if you change world motion blur off and you have this on, it's gonna be like you didn't turn it off. And this is just like another thing is the weapon motion blur. So yeah, keep that at least. For my controller settings, I run default. I run with my bumpers, on my buttons, my back buttons. Color. Please turn off your controller vibration. Please turn it off. Do not turn it on. Obviously, I got stick layout default. I play on 5.5. Sensitivity multiplayer, I keep it all on 1. Haven't messed with that a little bit. Standard. Obviously hold, aim down sight behavior. Sprint tactical focus for my chain zoom. My R3 button, I believe. I don't play with automatic sprint on. Yeah, equipment behavior, I have it on hold. ADS melee. Tap to reload. Apply 1. That's for your in the war zone. Target aim assist. Obviously, you're playing on a controller. Make sure your aim assist is on. I play on Black Ops. Black Ops are default, whichever you want to. Do not run these two. Make sure it's default or Black Ops. I have that off. There's a lot of new settings that I do not know what they do. Like, I miss the old days where it was basic settings. Keep that off. Keep that on. 1 off. Play with this on. Dynamic. Make sure your curve type is dynamic. It honestly made aim assist broken. Honestly. Like, it's ridiculous. Keep that at 1. Instant. I have this off. These are my dead zones. This is what I play with. Just my personal preference, especially when you get new sticks. I usually go like 0.03 to break them in a little bit. But over time, you get stick drift, and you slowly got to move it up so you don't get as much stick drift. Obviously, it says increase the value to prevent stick drifting. Like, you don't want that. This is what I have my triggers on. Depending on what controller I use, on my PS4 I have digital tap, so I put these higher. But on my PS5 I do not, so I usually drop this lower. This is toggle. How to move forward is off. Single tap run. Ground and mantle is off. That's off. That is off. Inverted. Let me tell y'all a little something. When you have tap to dive, it will save your life. It is so much better when you have tap to slide. So I would personally recommend that you have this inverted, so you hold the slide but tap to dive. Especially because you can't slide cancel anymore, so slide's almost useless. But you can still use it, but obviously dive is a lot better. Plunging underwater, I just have that as movement. I have this on. Mantle only. Off, on, medium, on, off. This is just some of the Warzone that I don't touch because I barely play Warzone. And then let's get into audio. I play on a headphone bass boost. This game is really loud. So if you're in S&D and you want a sound whore, I would turn this up. I usually play from 80 to 90 depending on what I'm doing. Make sure everything is just set. This is what I do. These are my settings. I hate hearing the music, but I want to hear a little bit, but not like blaring in my ears. So that's what I have it on. These are some of my audio settings. That's it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video about my settings, my graphics, my controller, my audio. Oh, one thing, interface. Go here. Right here. Change this to 00 square. Keep this on. Trust me, you'll prefer it a lot better. Especially my PC players that can actually do it, just do it. For my console players that couldn't really get all the settings, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, y'all have a good one.